of the media ecosystem, we are finding ways of regulating or making sure their works fall in line. Joker. And so today we're here. We're asking whether it's about time that we regulated their activities. Bloggers, vloggers, new media operators. We have in the studio today a blogger and secretary of New Media Association, always listening to us from home and sending his messages. Today he's right here in the studio. He's in the middle of the giants. He's in the middle of the two uncles. Don't fear, they are not going to meet you, okay? Jibriel Suliah. Is it Suliah or Suliah?
Suliah.
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 Yes.
Okay. The tones are down.
Yes.
Jibriel Suliah. Okay. When I saw it, I said Suliah.
Oh yeah, I get that a lot.
Okay. You have another name?
Jagbesie.
Jagbesie.
Yes.
Jibriel and Jagbesie Suliah.
So it's Jibriel Suliah Jagbesie.
Okay, Suliah Jagbesie. That's amazing. Lovely. Yes.
It's
What language is that?
Oh, okay.
Sisali.
Yes.
All right. Welcome.
Thank you.
How do you feel being among the giants, the two big men, your right, your left?
Yeah, especially Francis Doku, because I think we've this is the second time I'm meeting him ever since I started blogging.
Wow. Are you serious?
Yeah.
First time meeting the chief blogger?
Second time. The first time we met at a musical, an EP lunch at the Lancaster Hotel.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then this is the first time. And Uncle Ken, first time meeting him.
Oh,
I'm more
nice.
like now a backbencher, so
okay.
I guess
Okay.
I would listen even if I'm in Tumu or somewhere.
You'll be listening to us.
Yes, I stream.
These are great men.
Yes.
With a lot of years of experience.
Yes. And so I'm overwhelmed to be in there, especially in the middle. So when I came in, I was like, why are you putting me in the middle? Why are you putting me here? But I'm overwhelmed.
Good to have you here.
With great minds like this.
Yeah.
I'm sure I would also learn. I keep learning, especially when I'm listening to you. You know, I'm a very
yes. You listen.
In my odd hours. I do listen to you. When I say odd hours, I do travel mostly. So
okay.
I try as much as possible to follow.
Thank you, Jibriel Suliah. Uncle Francis. Jibriel is happy to see you.
Always. I think Jibriel and I have engaged a few times.
Okay.
I think of the Arts and Tourism Writers Association. Yeah. And we've engaged a few times, but like you said,
you mean artwork?
Yes, artwork. Yeah,
George Quay's artwork.
The one that you used to be the secretary.
Oh, yes. The past is not the present. Let's talk about.
Were you secretary? What were you?
I was a PRO. No, let's talk about present.
I used to be the vice president.
Vice president.
Yes. Mr. William Asiedu.
So talk about the one that George Quay.
That currently George Quay, whose production is about to start airing.
Yes, today at 4.
Yeah, at 4. In the next 15 minutes. Yes, he's the president currently. I think Jibril and I have engaged there, but like you mentioned, this is the second time we're meeting physically.
Yeah.
And it's good to see him again.
Great. Uncle Ken.
Yes, Kwame.
Your grandchild is here.
Yes, oh.
Yeah, grandchild.
Yeah. I think he will qualify today.
Yes.
You know, happy to be here. When I saw the
artwork.
Yes, for today's discussion.
Yeah.
I giggled, because it's one of those topics that is so controversial.
Very.
It's bound to be exciting. Yeah. In your say it loud.
Yes, sir.
If I may get back.
Oh, you can get into it.
You know.
You can.
You talked about you putting up a post.
Yes, please.
Condemning the actions of the MP.
Yes, please.
And people got back at you.
Yes, please.
You know. You always put up posts.
Yes, please.
And people get back at you all the time. But you are what I have noticed is you are very, very adept at getting back in your own way. So nicely that if you're not careful, you would not think you are also dishing it out to them. I have noticed that, and I always chuckle when I read the comments, and see how you respond to them. The young lady is...
DJ Switch.
Oh, DJ Switch. I was just telling Francis of her that I have pictures with her when she was young and have come. She came on the show.
Oh, those days.
Yeah, those days, a few times. And I have pictures. And I saw her in that video you posted.
Yes,
just before I came here
this
afternoon. And I said, wow. Listening to her articulation, I said, this is growth.
Yes.
Growth. And I felt so proud. I mean, I was emotional listening to her and watching the young lady espouse the feelings that she espoused about this matter. I think kudos to her.
Yeah.
I also think that the MP,
yes,
much as he erred gravely, because you are standing there talking to kids about how you got to your position. Then all of a sudden, Beshi comes over him.
Oh, Charlie.
And he marries the young lady.
In future,
No. Have
It
you?
was so cringe.
Yes. It was. He didn't read the room well
at all. At all.
And he felt, but he has apologized.
Yes, he has.
And so I think that much as we've all expressed our issues, that's cool.
Yeah.
To Jibril, one quick question. You mentioned that your language is Sisali.
Yeah.
Is that language
different from
people from Sisala?
So the tribe is Sisala.
Okay.
The language is Sisali.
Sisali. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow.
Because I've heard a lot of people always say they speak Sisala.
Yeah.
They speak Sisala.
Okay.
And today's the first time I've heard Sisali.
Yeah.
So like the Gomba and the Bani.
The Bani.
That's right.
100%.
Sisali.
Right. Thank you.
Yes.
Good to see you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. We also have joining us on Zoom. We have Abdulai Awudu. He is president of the Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association, GIBA. He's also the general manager for Adom Brands here at the Multimedia Group. Let's say good afternoon to Abdulai Awudu. Hello.
Good afternoon, Kwame.
Good afternoon,
Can you
sir.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. And good afternoon to Uncle Ken and Jibril.
It's an honor to have you on our show this afternoon.
It's an honor to be on your show.
Why is he leaving me out?
I was going to ask him.
Oh,
Francis.
I mean, when I joined, I didn't hear Francis speaking, so I didn't know he was already in the studio. Charlie, Maestro, I'd agree to.
I didn't respond.
Hey,
Chief.
Abu,
I thought you were intentionally leaving me out.
Abu, longest time.
No. It's before I get accused again, is Suleimana in the studio?
Not yet.
Has he joined yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
He's not on yet.
Okay.
All right. Also, we'll also have Adwoa Paintsil. She'll be joining us in a moment. Adwoa Paintsil is a lawyer and managing associate, Robert Smith Law Group. She's on her way coming. She'll be here in a moment. And then Suleimana Braimah is executive director of Media Foundation for West Africa. All right. So today we're talking about bloggers again. And this time around, we're looking at how possible it is for us to regulate the activities. Just a few days ago, we saw a video of the president captured talking about something to somebody, and from all indications, it wasn't a public statement. It wasn't an interview. He wasn't speaking for the general public or for the media. He was having a private conversation, and it was captured. Later, the communication wing had to come out and explain what really that meant. We've seen a number of examples like this in the past. You go for an event, bloggers, vloggers, new media operators are shoving their phones in your faces. You are in your car, they are bringing it, they want to capture your shoe. They want to capture your shirt, everything. Sometimes even they try to zoom your teeth to see your teeth and your tongue and everything. And as much as we appreciate the fact that these bloggers and vloggers go all out to get us the videos, the scenes and everything, I think sometimes they go beyond boundaries. They outstep their bounds. And so today we are here to try and find ways we can make them work within the accepted ethics in the industry. Whether we like it or not, bloggers are now part of the media. Most of them are now doing journalism, so they are part of the media. So the issue of regulating the activities is what we're talking about today here on the show. You can send your questions, your comments ahead of time, 0551111 Let me start with you, Uncle Francis. How has blogging changed the face of journalism or media practice in Ghana?
Thank you so much, Kwame. I think we must separate the two. We must separate blogging from journalism, first of all.
We must?
Yeah, because, there are some aspects of, things you need to take in a normal or not normal, in a regular newsroom where journalism.
Then let me ask the question again.
Yeah.
How has blogging changed the media landscape?
Yeah, so that's a very good one. I think it has, and I remember not too long ago, we had a similar, conversation in this studio, if you recall, with Neodompre of 1957,
yes,
and others who were in the studio for us to have that discussion. We even had Zion Felix, on the phone,
true, yes,
to have that discussion, and I think we noted that what blogging has done is to give a bit of challenge, to your traditional newsrooms in the area of speed, if you like, of news. Bloggers will not necessarily go through all the hoops that you have to go through to present your news. And a traditional newsroom has certain structures, and a journalist writes a story, goes through sub-editing, it goes to the editor, and all that before it is released. I think what blogging has done is to make the news a bit more like fast food. Compared to if you go to a traditional restaurant and all the processes that fufu pounding, and all will go through, and if you go to a fast food restaurant, the quickness. Sometimes you go to the drive-through, 5 minutes you get your food and you go. I just think just opposing blogging to traditional journalism. This is what.
Aren't some traditional media houses doing exactly the same thing as the bloggers are doing?
That's where I was coming to say that because of what blogging has done, giving you the news in bites quickly. Many traditional media channels who have incorporated new media, if you like, have said that we don't have to wait till 8 p.m. to give the news, right? We don't have to wait 6 p.m., 7 p.m. for the traditional news, as it used to be. You and I, when we were watching GBC TV at the time, before it became GTV, would have to wait at 7 p.m. to see the news. Most of us were not willing to watch the news, right? We were waiting for Akan drama or Osafo to watch. So the news comes at 7, then talking point comes before that. But the point is that in the era of what we have now, where bloggers have the news and they go very fast before even you go through all your processes, many newsrooms have now tried to adopt that, right? Even the biggest newsrooms globally have tried to look at how to give the news quicker, faster than it used to be. So there's a certain truncation of all the processes that you have to go through for the news to be ready for consumption. So I'm just moving to the point that blogging has given some, if you like, pressure, and the traditional newsrooms are incorporating most of that into their own way of presenting news to the public, because the idea is that if you wait till 8 p.m., all the news would have gone.
Yeah.
And so you need to look at how to make the news come out quicker than it is. So it is pressure. It is, if you like, benchmarking what is happening in the digital space to traditional newsroom. However, I think the difference will be then that what's the process that, even if it has to come quicker, what's the process it has to go through? Because if I'm a blogger, it's just me, with my equipment. Usually, it's just me with my equipment and access to my blog or my website and the news. Or I even sit in my room. I probably wouldn't even have gone to the event. Meanwhile, these guys have sent camera and 3 people to go to the events, to cover. And then I'm sitting there. I just see it. I post. Now they will come back. They would have to process, and all that. So even though the traditional newsroom is trying to incorporate the things that bloggers do, it's still a process that have to be gone through, because news is dangerous. You could put out things that would end up messing up your news organization. Not just your newsroom, your whole news organization, your management, your CEO, and everybody have to come and answer for something that you put out. Meanwhile, the blogger just have to answer for himself or herself. So in as much as traditional newsrooms have incorporated the new media and look at what some bloggers do and try to make sure that they also put the news out there, they still have to go through certain process to put it out there. Process that the average blogger will not have to go through, because they are there alone or just with their colleagues, and then they have to put a news around there. So just to conclude on this initial comment, to say that blogging has given traditional media a certain pressure to make them also inculcate some of these things into how they do it. But the traditional function of a newsroom hasn't been thrown away completely, because you need to make sure that you're responsible, you do that. Whereas the person who is blogging just have to put it out there. 2 things also give room to this. First of all, it's about how you make your revenue, right? The bloggers' revenue comes from how they post, the clicks they get, the things that they do. So clickbait is very, very, very important with blogging. Whereas your traditional newsroom, maybe you have corporate clients, and all that. You're perhaps doing radio or TV or newspaper, and you're giving an extension into the digital space. So you already probably have your money or all that. Or you place proper, online, advertising, on your website and all that. But a blogger may not get that. But they still need to make their money to pay for their data. They pay for, they are running around and all that. So those elements and dynamics, I believe, inform how things go. And I believe when we go on to have conversation, we'll talk about that. But there's a certain pressure that comes from bloggers, because they get the news fast, and the traditional newsroom also has to see how to work around that. But you don't, in that space and in that conversation, throw away the values that make a newsroom a proper newsroom.
Jibriel,
Kwame,
do you guys, you bloggers, do you intentionally set out to be sensational in your publications?
Intentionally,
yes.
I doubt.
So you can get the clicks.
I doubt that would be the intention. I have been in the space for quite not as Uncle Ken
at all.
But
are you speaking for a larger group or for yourself?
I'm speaking for myself now, but
now as a blogger.
Yes.
Not as secretary for New Media Association.
And I would inculcate that side, because in terms of experience, I can count Eugene Osafon Kansa, Amir Deborah. They are even Francis Doku. They are the top guys there. And Kwame yourself, And you look at the generation. You look at the generation.
Ghana Weekend.
I probably also.
It was a website.
Yes, it was a website. Yeah.
It wasn't a blog.
So you look at the generation, and I would say I probably fall under the second generation of bloggers. So myself, Zion Felix, Cypress, Ghana.
Cypress.
Yes, and so what we learned from the likes of Francis Doku and Eugene and Co. was basically about the normal traditional media newsroom effect. And so you would have to go pick the story as a blogger, come and sit down and go through the necessity. And I think that's where my personal side comes in. It also depends on the educational background you find yourself in. I also went to a journalism school. And so in school, I was taught that you just don't get up and write or probably put the story together. It has to go through an editorial procedure. And so I would now come back to where...
So you were doing journalism through blogging?
Yes. So I even got introduced into blogging when I went to NAFTI to study journalism, online journalism. And that is where I decided to even... I at a point even got scared to go into the newsroom like this and work. And so
there's a course at NAFTI.
Yes, when you're studying journalism.
Is it a Unimark?
Yes, nice
Unimark.
Back then it was
Online.
NAFTI.
So
Online
back then it was NAFTI.
Yes.
NAFTI had a journalism course.
Yes. And so they were doing broadcast journalism, they were doing TV production, they were and then online journalism. And so I got introduced into online journalism through that. And so I capitalized on it after school, and then I went into full blog. And so intention, I doubt. Sometimes I want to be the devil's advocate and say it is probably a mistake where things like this come up. You are recording, the time is moving immediately. Sometimes some of the events are being packed with conversations. People, in fact, sometimes those who involve you in to come and take coverage of the event question you, why are you not flying the video?
Oh, it should go.
Your clients.
The clients. So most of us have been engaged by event organizers, the corporate institutions that hold events for us. Even the politicians get to invite us to come for events. And so when you come and you are taking, because they know it's a handy thing. You are holding a mobile phone or probably a DJI small nano camera that can pick everything up. So he expects that the moment you come, the video... I have been to an event, and then the moment I landed 5 to 10 minutes before the event started. And the organizer asked me, you've not taken the arrivals of our guests. I'm like, I'm not here to do the arrivals of your guests. I don't do that kind of stuff. But she was furious why I didn't take the arrivals of her guests. And so
that means she wasn't the one that invited you.
She invited me, but she thought that I was the type who would
immediately you come
because you are covering an event.
Yes,
you
and
capture
then
every moment.
I have to put it out there like that.
Yeah.
instead of processing.
Yes, and so intention. That is so. I want to doubt and say that I don't think it is intentional. Sometimes I would just say it's a mistake. I would
for everybody.
Thank you.
Not for everybody.
Or maybe on your part.
Yeah,
a lot of us also.
Your association members.
Yes. Okay. So now the New Media Association of Ghana, we decided to come together and say that we know that we need to be united. First of all, we need to also put some integrity. As I said, I started as a journalism student, but categorized or picked online journalism.
Right.
So I have taken it as a profession. I have said it countless on my social media. I have taken blogging as a profession because that is actually what is putting food on my table. So I'm not going to jeopardize it. And so I need to follow the ethics.
Right. Do you have any?
Yes. So the New Media Association, when we came together, we knew we needed to put ethics together. We knew we had to be regulated, not in a strict form, but obviously there should be
guide that will take
us through. So we put that together. We have a code of ethics. Every member has the code of ethics, and they are going to. And time in, time out, ourselves, we keep reminding each other. Just 3 weeks ago, this issue of muting the videos of personalities. I even wrote a whole article telling my people or telling the association members why there's a need to be able to scrutinize and then take time and edit it, because irrespective that the platforms have given to us handy to be able to post, the same platforms have given us opportunity to edit. So Kwame, newsroom is just in my hand, but that doesn't mean that because I've taken a video of Uncle Ken right now, I should just put it out. I should be able to know exactly what I want to put out there from what Uncle Ken has said. And so I would sit here and condemn the fact that the president and probably his allies are walking, he's coming, I'm taking a video, and then I would have to take his arrival. It's good, there's no issue with that. But the sound, the conversation, this is the president, no, even if that's not the president, but a public official. You remember the issue of Yellow? That statement, I really condemned it.
Which one?
President, there was a video of the president stepping into his vehicle, and then I think he saw somebody and mentioned his name and said, Yellow, see Dr. Callistus. There was something of that sort. It went viral. And I had to condemn our people. I mean, when I say our people, the new media people. I don't.
Which are not
when we actually traced the source of the video, it had nothing to even do with the bloggers within the New Media Association.
So the person wasn't a member of your association.
He wasn't a member.
That's the point.
Funny enough, Kwame, Uncle Francis said something about traditional media now inculcating into new media. You remember when this whole I sent you a picture and asked, "Is this where the conversation?" Check. There's a watermark on it. Does that watermark represent an individual blogger's website? No. It's a sister is a
another media
outlet,
but I think
one for that matter.
the one I saw had an individual blogger's watermark.
Yes, so
but the one you saw had
that
a traditional media
yes
watermark.
So this is where we are now, or this is where we are, in the sense that we as an association have put together bloggers across the country. Over 300 bloggers across the country.
Okay.
If you go to WA,
countrywide.
yes. If you go to WA, I mean Upper West, there are new media representatives.
If you go to Sisala.
If you go to Tumu or the Sisala districts or municipal, yes, there are bloggers there. And we are trying as much as possible to bring more people on board, because we know that where we find ourselves, some of us have taken it as a profession, and we need to be guided. And so we need to be able to put all this together.
Early on, you mentioned that you have code of ethics that govern the people in that association. Can you name some of them?
So obviously, we, with respect to being able to misleading and misinforming, it's actually a crime, and that when a member is caught or is found wanting within that perspective, there's a disciplinary committee within the New Media Association to look into that matter and find a punishment for such
So you do punish your people?
Yes, we do punish them. How? Oh, that I leave that to the disciplinary committee to settle on. There are sometimes we have ID cards for members, we have accreditations for members, and so if it's that matter, to the extent your accreditation can be taken, so that some events you go, you can't use the name of New Media Association to represent such events. So that punishment side, I won't be able to say, because there's a whole member that has been selected to decide as to how your fate is when you are found wanted.
Do you get worried when you hear people criticizing bloggers? Bloggers are not professional. Bloggers have been doing things anyhow. How do you feel about that?
I get worried because, as I said, blogging is my profession, and I am.
That's what put food on your table.
Yes,
that's what.
And so, if someone just goes online and says, "Oh, this," maybe right for now, because I've now heard it. It sounds, but initially I used to get agitated because it one way or the other affects me as well. the moment I go somewhere and I take my phone out, oh, bloggers now ba. So I mean, I'm just trying to put it in that perspective, and so people are and that yeah, that's that, and that shouldn't be. That shouldn't be. And so in that case, yes, I get worried. But maybe because time has flown or time has passed, it becomes just those things. And I personally I would just have to assess the situation to know exactly what brought about that conversation.
All right. Thank you so much, Jibriel Suliah. He's a blogger and secretary of New Media Association. You just heard him speak to us about the nature of their work. 0551111 is our WhatsApp number. You can send in your comments now. How do we regulate the work of bloggers? Don't you think it's about time we did that? Let's go on Zoom now. Let's pick the thoughts of Abdulai Awudu. He's president of Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association, GIBA, and also the general manager for our DOM groups here at the Multimedia Group. Abdulai.
Kwame.
Okay. So as president of GIBA, when you observe the work of these bloggers, how do you feel? What do you make of the work they do?
I think Francis kind of captured, the ecosystem very well in the beginning when he spoke about how blogging is defining general media because of the speed in which they use to, do their work and the way they cover stories and be able to publish the stories quickly. Of course, it then begins to define how traditional media works. I want us to look at this whole thing, first of all, just look at it from a media perspective and see blogging as a new tool, just like when TV came and radio came and print came, and it transformed and, shaped the way media worked. And even though print has been around for a century plus, I'm sure, there are some newspapers which are about 100 years old plus. There are still newspapers that people will consider this newspaper is a serious newspaper that I will look at and say, look, they've covered the story very well. They had their sources solid. And then there's another newspaper that people will see as a tabloid or maybe and they had a lot in the UK newspaper that news of the world kind of newspaper where they will talk about UFOs and aliens, or also write stories with very salacious headlines for people to pick. I see the bloggers in that category, that even within the space now in Ghana, you can see that there are different shades of bloggers. There are people who have also imbibed from traditional media. So like Jibril is saying, because people keep saying that you are not professional, over the years, what he's done is to ensure, because of his training, to ensure that he goes through certain protocols and things. He still blogs, but you can define him differently from other bloggers who may be like some newspaper who wants nice headlines. He wants people to come and pick the newspaper off the shelf and read it because they want to hook people. So, I didn't agree with Jibril when he was saying that it's a mistake when people are sensational. It's a choice. Even in traditional media, in print media in Ghana, over the years, all over the world, in traditional TV stations, there are different styles that people choose. All you want is that you want to draw your reader into your viewer into to come on and partake in your news that you put together, and how you draw them. Once the headlines are not misleading and they may be very interesting and salacious enough for people to pick, that's a style. But currently, if I go back to bloggers, what I've seen is that over the period, there are different types. There are bloggers who have set themselves up, who people even after they hear news go to them to authenticate. I was doing a workshop with a number of Gen Zs, and some of them told me that there are certain bloggers that if they don't see the story from them, they don't believe that the story happened. And I was amazed. I asked them for some of the very strong traditional online platforms. They said, no, if I see it from this blogger, then I think that the thing is really authentic. And most of the time that one happens in the space of entertainment and things. So generally I think that yes, there are bloggers that we will be excited with the work that they are doing, the quality that they are bringing, the way they are giving pressure to traditional media houses, the way they have also picked up cues from traditional media houses and improved their blogging. And then there are bloggers that yes, because of speed and because of a lack of training, sometimes you can see that they get out of hand and they do things. That's my general. I don't see them differently from how media has developed over the years. With each new media form that came in, there's always a wide range of practitioners, and there are those who followed ethics and follow a certain style, and others who have a different style. And I think over the period, what happens is that consumers and people who consume the news begin to then to identify people that they can go to, and they can trust the news that they say, and then they go and go to and see the other people that they don't need to take serious when they report. And it's the same in TV, it's the same in radio, it's the same in print.
All right, Abu, you run a media company that has new media as part of the departments, and so you run the Adum brands, okay? And at the Adum brands, you have the new media departments, and so you see the content on social media as well. Francis said something early on, as in now the bloggers are giving the traditional media competition, and so the new media outlets of these traditional media houses are now competing with the bloggers and trying to behave like them. What do you say to that?
Oh, like Francis said, you know that when you're in a traditional media house, I mean, okay, when you're in a very structured media organization, a big multimedia organization, you know that there are ethics of the profession. I mean, there's a big ethics and editorial guidelines book that you use, and you have supervisors who look at what you do, will scrutinize it, will pass it on, and your editor will finally give you, and you know that when that issue comes, you have to respond to it. So yes, the pressure is there. And I mean, in the case of multimedia, maybe I'll say maybe like a decade ago, we started something we call Digital First, a decade plus, yes. And we started, working to ensure that our news goes onto digital, first before it even comes onto the traditional media, because the traditional media has set times that you can either say your news or do a certain program. It's not really worrying us. Of course, even in traditional media, a journalist may get something wrong. So there's a probability that in a structured organization like our organization, a social media person may post something and get it wrong. I don't see that as because they want to behave like bloggers. I just see that it happens in almost every newsroom that people can get things wrong. What is different in a structured organization is that quickly the person will recover, apologize, retract, do the necessary apologies, and then also maybe publish what is right, if the person wants this published. I think what we have differently from, just before I wrap up, I think what we have differently from the bloggers is that even when we put it on digital first, because we are trying to compete with them, we have what we can do, which sets us apart, is that we have this whole back room that can add context to the story, that can add some research and some more information to make the audience enjoy it better. So you may see the thing in speed, see it as fast as a blogger can deliver for you, but there's more context around the story. Once the person comes into the newsroom and sits down, they can then shape their story to add more context. before I go off, I want to tell you something. I remember I visited BBC some years ago, and I was speaking to the editorial team, and at that time, Sky News was giving them a run for their money. And at that time, BBC, and these are two television stations, BBC had discovered that because of their editorial guidelines and the hoops that they had to go through, maybe a child will be missing somewhere, and BBC will have to do everything before they report that this child is missing, which may take a number of hours. What Sky then was doing was that they would get on ground and then they'll start filming maybe even the empty park where the child was playing, and then tell you the story and keep correcting and shaping the story as they go on. So they are not very definitive. They say, look, a child is missing, as a down, we don't know if it's a boy or a girl. And then they maybe 30 minutes later, they tell you that, look, it's a boy. We've now heard that it's a boy. He's 3 years old. And then they can't develop. And BBC then had to begin to, see how they could compete. And this is even through traditional media. So the bloggers are good. They've helped the market. They are helping us compete more so that we can deliver news in the way that people consume news now.
Abu, please don't go yet because I have 2 more questions to ask you. Let me take a final round before I come back to you. Let me go to Uncle Ken. But before that, we've been joined by Adwoa Paintsil, and she is lawyer and managing associate Robert Smith Law Group. Let me also inform you that we invited the National Media Commission to be part of this conversation, but unfortunately, they could not make it. All right, and so that is why we don't have a regulatory body on the panel this afternoon. Joy 99.7 FM, Showbiz A to Z. We're talking about bloggers and how we can regulate the activities. And Uncle Ken.
Yes.
Okay, so you've listened to everybody. Yes. Oh. Philip says you are a senior blogger.
the oldest blogger in Ghana.
Philip Lai. Kwame, I just want to ask, Madam, is your father the lawyer, Paintsil?
Kweku Paintsil.
Ah, okay.
Yes, pretty much.
Oh. Pretty much.
That's my father's
cousin. Oh, okay.
Oh.
So he's your father, yes.
Phil,
he is your
the one who
father
comes
in the
here?
Tradition.
Yes.
No wonder. The Paintsils are very good
Okay.
in law.
All right.
Kwame,
Uncle Ken.
interesting conversation. You know what I wished today was?
Uh-huh.
I wish today was like a court.
Yeah.
Where we have Jibril.
In the dock.
like a moot court.
I'm telling you, where we have Jibril in the dock and we posing questions to him. I'll have enjoyed that, Papa. Because Jibril, oh, Charlie. You know our producer, Suleimana.
Yes.
He came up with an article. And the heading of the article is what grabbed my attention. He said, every mobile phone is a media house.
Yes.
And that captures the whole issue that we are discussing today. Every mobile phone is now a media house. But how do we regulate every mobile phone? We regulate media houses.
Yes.
Media houses are under strict regulation, are they not? Sometimes they waiver, so to speak. Everybody wavers.
You even need to be registered. You need a license to
Francis
operate.
Doku is not supposed to eat snails, but he wavers and he eats snails sometimes.
Oh, he does?
Not in my house.
Exactly. And so I think that that is where the core of the issue is. Regulation. You're talking about people capturing on the spot videos.
Yes.
And posting them.
Yes.
And so by so doing, I've heard a lot of the bloggers in defense of their work say that, they've come to give the traditional media houses a run for their money, like Philip has always said.
Yes.
And that because they report on the spot matters, the media houses now do not have the chance to go back and edit and put things in their own way. So they're claiming success for that aspect of their work. But what they forget is that it is not all top stories that they can capture and gain the most viewers for. I was talking to Francis before we started the show about the biggest story so far in world news, which is the FIFA president, Infantino. You know, and his issues. Now, you tell me which blogger is going to develop that story. No blogger will be able to develop that story. It is the traditional media houses that will be able to deal with such issues. So the bloggers, they should stay there.
End to end.
Yes. So the bloggers, they should not think that, I mean, they will get their clicks and baits, you know. Nobody is disputing that. But we are saying that for news items to be taken seriously, there should be ethics, everything to do with impartial reporting stated, captured in what you put out. Today, we are all sitting back at home, pick up our phones, hey, top story. You see this MP, blah, 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 blah. You see this funeral. The funerals have gotten all the headlines on social media.
Yes.
There's every funeral captured. Now, Francis, you tell me, if we are sitting here blaming the bloggers for not being adept at what they do, following structure and all that, who invites them to those events?
They have a market for that.
How do they get information? And when they get there, and the people are walking towards to get their seats, and they are filming them and talking to them and chatting with them, do the people throw them away?
No.
So you see, it's a two-way thing. We as a society, we've embraced this medium of blogging and vlogging, or whatever you call it. And we are helping them. And now we are saying that they are getting to become a nuisance. But how do we stop them after inviting them to our own events? I sometimes shudder to think whether what I see on screen is actually evidence of somebody inviting a blogger for the blogger to capture them, or the person not knowing, because I see some of them wave to the bloggers.
Yes.
As they walk past.
Yes.
They wave to them. Even if the blogger is going to capture their backside, they still wave to them.
And some have personal bloggers.
And people now have personal bloggers
who move with
follow
them
them
everywhere they
go. My only issue with Jibril is Jibril seems to be wanting to protect all bloggers. Instead of protecting his own.
Well, he's a secretary for bloggers.
Yes,
but then he also knows by our constitution, it's not everybody that is bound to be a member of an association.
Yes.
So there are those out there who are not members of his association. And Kwame member.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yet he wants to speak for them. And then I'm into Jibril Asino. Why does he want to speak for such people? Let us call such people for what they are. Kwame, before I let go of my plenty talk and allow Madam to come in, I was wondering, you post, I don't know if it was Philip, you, or whoever posted that question about...
Which one?
The issue about bloggers and most of them not being journalists.
Okay. I was trying to say most of them
and then Kwame,
are now doing journalism.
Was it Jibril?
Francis says it is not the same as journalism, or is it not a question? Yeah. It says blogging is different from journalism.
This morning to find out exactly how the bloggers and the journalists are situated. And I came across this. It says bloggers and vloggers are generally not regarded as formal journalists.
Absolutely.
Primarily due to differences in training, ethics, and accountability. While traditional journalists focus on objective fact-checking and public interest, bloggers often share personal opinions and matters to do with entertainment.
But Uncle Ken, things have changed. There is now a gray line. There is a very thin line. It's very blurry. Because, for example, Jibriel trained as a journalist using blogging as his medium of journalism.
And he says that he trained in a particular course
exactly
to do with online journalism.
Yes, so he is a
That's
journalist.
what Jibril told us.
He's a blogger.
And I am even surprised that there is such a course.
Online, it's online journalism.
Yes, online
and
journalism.
So,
it means that, like the statement I read did not say all bloggers are not journalists.
Good.
It did not say that. So Jibril is an exception of a blogger being a journalist.
True.
And a trained one at that. You know what I mean? It also goes on to say that journalists can also become bloggers.
Good.
Absolutely.
Even though you are a blogger, you Kwame Dadzie.
I can be.
He's a blogger.
I can be. Yes, I blog on social media.
Yes.
Yes.
Kwame Dadzie blogs and I read all his blogs and I enjoy them.
And he especially enjoy when he's bantering with the people.
Giving them the verbals, you know. I'm saying that it's a thin line. And I am wondering how Jibril's association is going to be able to put most of the people in line with what they want to achieve. That is a very difficult task. A very, very difficult task for them. Unlike the media houses, you have the GJA and
NMC,
Abu's organization,
Giba,
NMC.
But you see, even them who are established, they have issues.
Yeah.
With putting their people in line.
Yes.
Because it's a voluntary organization.
Yes.
So how much more a blogger from Sunyani?
Yes.
Putting out.
Yes.
Or from
Sisala. Or from Sisala.
Yeah. Putting out stuff that
doing
you
their
sit
own
in
thing
Accra and call yourself an association. How are you able to check them? It's difficult, but I hope and pray that people, institutions like the NCA and
NMC
Kiba and all these people will have been able to tell us, give us solutions, some solutions to this problem, because it is truly becoming a nuisance sometimes.
All right, thank you, Uncle Ken. Right there. Let me get to Uncle Francis before I come to Adwoa Paintsil.
I just wanted to chip in briefly. And I think that would even, when a lawyer comes, she can talk about that.
Okay.
In the sense that, because Uncle Ken mentioned regulation. You see, in law, when you say regulation, it's very, very, technical. And I think that we have, as a constitution, as a nation, we frown on regulating the media in the true sense of regulation. Because that's why when you talk about authorization and license, so
yes,
media houses are authorized.
Yes,
they're not licensed.
You don't need a license. Just authorized.
You are authorized.
Authorized. So Joy FM is authorized to broadcast.
Okay.
But MTN is licensed to operate, and so there's a regulator who sits and look at everything that MTN does, even their prices. I mean, Joy FM can increase their rate today, and it doesn't have to go through somebody to approve, and all that. And so we just need to look at it from the point that regulation, we don't regulate media in Ghana as things are now. There are just oversight bodies who, I mean, NMC, for instance, the constitution doesn't say that you need to regulate the media for it to operate.
But people need to go through certain
processes. But it's not regulation.
Maybe
the lawyer will find word that says that,
Exactly.
So is it censorship?
No. Even censorship
is banned under laws.
Under the constitution.
Yes.
So it is not regulation.
No, it's not regulation. It's not censorship. It's oversight. Something responsibility. And so we cannot get to the point where we say even blogging has to be regulated. I think that there must be a way to.
So you would prefer structured?
Structured. It's more in my view.
Yes, I agree with
because regulation.
Okay. Abu says he agrees.
France on regulation.
If you see the countries where they regulate blogging, and if I list them, Russia, maybe China, maybe Islamic Republic of Iran, you can see that. I mean, it's a very centralized authoritarian state, with central, most liberal democracies don't have. And even in advanced jurisdictions, I think what they have are voluntary associations,
All right. Uncle Francis, are you done with that?
That's what I wanted to point out. Regulation is a very strong word.
Okay, so it is not as loose as we may see it to be.
Yes, it's not.
It's not.
It's very strong. It's legal, and once that comes in, it means that everything you do has to go somewhere before
All right.
you do that.
All right, let me welcome Adwoa Paintsil, lawyer, managing associate, Robert Smith Law Group. Adwoa, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's been how many years?
Probably 3.
Can you remember she was here some time ago? She's been here like twice already.
Oh, time flies.
Yes. About 2 years ago.
Then maybe I wasn't around.
You were not around.
Have you met me before?
No.
Okay,
Yes,
I think maybe.
because I haven't.
I think that was a copyright.
It was a copyright
My
conversation.
last time here was a copyright discussion.
Okay.
discussion.
Oh wow.
And come back and say me bam.
No, I mean him nanka bekano. Okay,
Maybe that me pass him.
Okay, half.
Me pass him.
And okay, that just
Me yo.
okay, now no say me
Now
this.
him be seen.
And now
Let me say that. Me come you.
Let me ask you, Adwoa, do we have laws that specifically govern new media activities?
So, how do I put this? Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, in the sense that there are laws that govern social media and new media generally for everybody, for all citizens of Ghana. But as no, in the sense that it is not a generalized law. Like we do not have a social media bill. We do not have a bill that says, okay, if you are going to post on X or post on Facebook, this is how it should go, or this is what you are allowed. We don't have that general law. We just have pieces and pockets of legislature and case law that provide some form of guidance towards what the legal regime for these new media is or looks like. So, for example, since we're talking about blogging, in Ghana, the general law is there's freedom of privacy, freedom of speech, freedom of privacy, freedom to publish whatever you want to publish. Freedom of expression, yes. But under that, you have the generalized law that everybody's rights is subject to the rights of another. So my right to publish or to express myself in whatever form or medium I want is subject to your rights of maybe privacy or whatever right is relevant in the matter. So you have that general overline. Or say even with the sharing of social media. For instance, sharing pornographic material, sexual content, it's a crime. And that applies to everybody. It is not that they sat down and said, okay, we are going to do this. And this is unlike the situation in England and Wales now, where they actually sat down to say, okay, now we are saying no more social media for children or people under 16. They have specific laws. But in Ghana, I wouldn't say we have specific laws. We just have pieces and pockets of legislation that can cover or that can apply to certain situations, but not that there's one body of law or one enactment that specifically deals with that.
Okay. So let me ask, if I went to an event and then a blogger who was videoing captured me talking to somebody, later on I go on social media, I see, oh, I was having a private conversation and then I was captured. Can I tell that blogger to delete it?
Yes, you absolutely have every right. So one of the first things is that everybody has a right to privacy. Now the question is, what is privacy? So far, our case law says that privacy is unwarranted intrusion into a person's life. So if I consider the discussion I'm having private and you are publicizing it or you are recording it, it's an unwarranted intrusion into my life, into my privacy. So I can absolutely take you on and say, take it down. If you do not take it down, I can actually take legal action against you. Now the issue or the problem is that one, unfortunately, justice in Ghana, the wheels of justice grind slowly.
And the justice itself is slow.
It grinds very slowly. So a lot of people are deterred because you can be in court for 2, 3, 4, 5 years on a single matter. Let's look at the Danofori judgments. That case has been in court since the 2000s. That is over 20 years, literally. That is over 20 years old. And it's still being litigated to date.
But the moral is that if you wait for that long, your money will be a lot.
Well, it depends. Let's see. But they have a new litigation, the new matter. So we are waiting to see what the Supreme Court to say. But the issue is that because justice can be slow, people are often deterred. But there's not, apart from that, there's absolutely nothing that prevents you from taking somebody to court for unauthorized recordings of you or publishing it, because it is your right to privacy. The fact that they have the right to publish whatever they want to publish does not supersede your right to privacy, because everybody's rights and freedoms are guaranteed under the Constitution. So it doesn't even matter if there's an enactment that says that you can do X, Y, Z. Once it's guaranteed under the Constitution, it is inviolable. They cannot take it away from you. There are exceptions, but most of the time, let's be for real, they don't meet these exceptions.
Well, can I ask a question? That, you are speaking in public, right?
Yes,
it's not like
that's
you
the question
were,
I was about to ask. You're
you
not
were
in your
hiding
room.
somewhere. You're in public.
Public
talking
event.
to somebody, and he was captured. Isn't it a defense for the blogger that, well, I wasn't hiding in taking you. You were speaking in public.
So, like I said, yes and no. A lot of things hang in the gray. So, for instance, if I'm delivering a public speech, that is fair play, fair game. You can record that. But if I'm having a conversation with somebody
In public,
it does not matter whether the conversation is in public or not. The import is conversations between individuals are meant to be private,
Yeah.
are meant to be confidential.
Yeah.
If I wanted to broadcast it to the whole world,
that's
I would have spoken.
loudspeaker.
Yes, I was taking a loudspeaker and gone to stand at Rollins Park and shouted it out.
Adwoa, you had some filler. Event as sin now, Babeka.
Oh, person with their friendships, you can't decide where.
Or you
when.
meet someone in Trotro, and that is where they're coming to talk about near Adwoa and Pina Nanubi.
Kwame,
Uncle Ken.
this public
Yes.
matter that you brought in,
Yes.
I have an issue with it.
Okay.
Much as the person was talking in public,
Okay.
did the person invite you to come and capture what he was saying?
But I heard it.
You
You said it so loud that I could hear it.
wait a minute. You're being there in the first place
Okay.
as a blogger, unless you were invited.
Yes, I was invited. The event organizer invited.
Unless you were invited, you were intruding in someone's privacy,
Yes.
so to speak. So you had no right to capture that. And I doubt, in the instances that you raised yourself, Kwame,
Yes.
regarding the president,
Yes.
I doubt whether that capture was done in the public interest. So why did you do that?
Not me.
Adwoa hasn't. Adwoa has not.
Yes. Uncle Ken, please let's Adwoa continue.
Yes, like Uncle Ken says, public is relative.
Yeah.
The courts recognize that people intend for conversations to be fleeting. So in Raphael and Kubaji, it's a Supreme Court case. It's been a while. But the court said conversations are meant, especially in that case, it was a phone recording, but they said conversations in general are meant to be transient, are meant to be fleeting.
Okay.
So I see you in the moment. I might not have, it's not premeditated. I see you in the moment. I have the conversation. The moment passes. We move on to another topic. It is not intended for the conversation to be on a permanent platform, on a permanent medium. So for instance, if you're recording such a conversation, you are taking away the transient nature of the conversation.
Right.
You have turned what is supposed, for all intents and purposes, to be a temporary thing
Fleeting
into
moment. Yeah.
a permanent fixture.
Exactly.
And we all know that nothing on the internet actually goes forever. Like, you can erase traces of it,
The
but
internet never forgets.
the internet never forgets. It will never ever forget.
And there could be a follow-up to that conversation, that fleeting one that you captured.
Exactly.
There could be a follow-up to
So-
it that you don't capture
Yes.
to explain matters better.
So in that case, it is absolutely wrong. And I want to say that sometimes people like to think it is not done intentionally. One thing about intent when it comes to law is that where the law also looks at malice, if the action was malicious. But the law doesn't explain malice as general ill will. Malice could also be, I know this is wrong, I just don't care. So a reckless disregard for somebody else's rights, which in this case would be their privacy, would be a show of malice. And it would go against you if the person decides that I want to pursue it. Because think of it this way. If you're having a conversation with anybody, you are not inviting in Ghana, it depends, because sometimes you be in a taxi and the taxi driver is having a conversation and now
my recorder is automatically on. By mistake. In Jibril's words.
It becomes a general conversation in a taxi.
Yes,
in Jibril's voice, by mistake.
By mistake. But unless you're invited into the conversation,
exactly,
you really have no say, no business, no place in that conversation, much more less trying to record that conversation.
Wow. Jibril, so when you guys go for events and you are videoing people having their private conversations, why do you still keep those conversations and post online?
Why do
you keep those conversations that are
you
private and then post online? He's processing.
So their job is to keep it.
No, so I initially said mistake. That is to an extent.
That was a mistake.
But the original word is due diligence, Kwame.
Okay.
And as we're saying, as the New Media Association, we have always been on the toes of our members to get things like this right, or not to find themselves wandering in such positions. So, yes, people would commit things like this, whether they intentionally do it or not. Is it right? Are we condemning it? As an association, we come out to condemn most of those things.
To the members or the public?
If you are a member and you find yourself in that position, yes, we would have to condemn it. We would have to. I recently wrote to one of our members, and apparently she has a worker, someone who takes videos for her, because she happened to have a lot of events she goes
She's
to.
expanding the company.
Yes, she gets someone to go and take the videos. And such thing happened. And I had to tell her, you need to orientate your workers. And then that's where the new media comes in. We, in our small way, try to sensitize and teach. And in our way, I just recently even met Mr. Awudu, and we were talking as
you mean our boss,
yes,
Abdulai?
Yes.
Okay.
And the conversation was for New Media Association to have a link between us as an association and Giba. Are we already in the system where others recognizes us? Yes. We even have mentorship and forums where people from the National Security Authority invites us to take us through trainings. As we speak, the Cyber Security Authority on 3rd of August will be organizing a mentorship program, a 3-day mentorship program, and members of the New Media Association will take part in it.
Oh, okay.
At least when you also go and you learn from these forums and events like this, it also expands what you should do as a blogger and what you shouldn't do as a blogger. So as an association, we are putting our shoes and laces together.
Wow.
And being able to empower our members. And for the since we've existed, we are almost 4 years now. We have been knocking on the doors of institutions, state institutions. We were recently privileged to even join the Ministry of Communication and Digitization, St. George, through Ms. Abdulai.
Yeah, I saw pictures of you meeting him.
Yes, and it had to do with us working together and being able to. So, as I said at the beginning, the whole new media came about just to be able to organize ourselves, not to regulate, but to put a structure with Mr. Francis way, to put a structure to get ourselves. Unfortunately, majority of people don't even seem to fall under the blogging category, but claim to be bloggers, and they are those giving us a problem.
Oh, what are they? What are they?
So he happens to probably have Philip as an event organizer, and then the president is coming for the event, or probably he happens to have it's a funeral of a very popular celebrity or something like that. He goes there, maybe the celebrities come, he takes 1 or 2 videos, puts it online, TikTok for example, the algorithm pushes it, it gets mileage, and then he takes it, oh, okay, since I've been able to post this video and I have views, then let me do more. Then automatically I'm a blogger.
Oh, that's how they start.
That is how some. That is how some start, and that is where we have people who are bloggers, and we have been trying as much as possible to bring them under the umbrella. As I said, most of us came from the institutions that were more of like traditional. We've been trained. I mentioned you yourself in Gaza.
Yes.
Peace FM.
Eugene was
Yes. Even Amiel Deborah, Zion Felix, Sammy K. Most of us
go online.
Go online. Most of us came from traditional practice.
Yeah.
And we have the journalistic way of putting things together. Okay. And these are some of the things that we looked at and decided that let's come together. The new guys who are coming on board, who just feels that, oh, because I have 100,000 followers and I can put this video and it will go viral, let us bring them together and let them understand that there are structures we need to put ourselves under and work to make the profession very appealing for others to join.
Okay.
And so we are open. As for us, as an association, as New Media Association, we are open to be able to put those structures in place. And that's why we are knocking on the doors of each institution. We spoke, as I said, Mr. Abdulai, I told him we would have to come to the office and to him and his institution, and we would put out measures to work on these things.
Let me ask him, Abu, are you ready to meet them?
Oh, I met Jibriel and I told him that yes, I know they have a very strong relationship with GJ, and I reminded him that, you know, for them in new media, they are journalists, independent, they are journalists and also businesses. You know, they are like a broadcast house, so they need to begin to have this kind of relationship with the Independent Broadcasting Association, you know, so that they can look at the business side of their job. I think they've done great, you know, over the last 4 years. I think they are doing well. They are doing one thing that you need to do, this independent self-regulation that they are doing, because once you guys peers are you know, you come together as peers, you form an ethics, you put together some ethics, and then you begin to self-regulate. Even though it's voluntary, it begins to set a certain tone, create a certain group of bloggers that people can associate with, and other people on the fringes would like to join, and then you can sort yourselves out. So I think that the journey that they've started is a very positive journey. I don't know if we come to talk about how we think that they can be regulated, you know, because, like, you know, they are making money from their job. So another way.
Abu keeps using the word regulate.
No, I'm coming. I mean,
yes,
you are making money. You are making money from the job. They themselves are self-regulating, like Jibril said. They met as a group, put together ethics, and they hold people accountable when they go outside. So that is a voluntary self-regulation that they are doing. You know, then you know that there are platforms that they are on. The platforms that they are on also have rules and some regulations that when they publish on, they can hold them either accountable, they can strike them, and things like that. That's if people make complaints. That's another way that part of the, you know, the industry can be kind of cleaned up, because they are doing it for money. And if Jibril has a YouTube page that has how many people, millions of people, and, you know, YouTube strikes him or closes it down, you know, he knows that he has to play ball, or else, you know, he can't make the money that he's making. That's an external form of regulation, platform level rules that kind of regulate the industry. But what they are doing, the self-regulation, that the voluntary self-regulation that they are doing, I think is okay.
All right, Abu, I think that's a good one there. But before you go, finally, let's talk about the traditional media companies that have new media wings that are trying to behave like bloggers now. What advice do you have for them?
They just have to stay true to their core. You know, I mean, their structures and the way people relate with your brand. Like for example, Joy FM, you have a social media handle. What people will accept from a blogger's social media handle, they will not accept from a Joy FM's social media handle, because you have a certain reputation as a business. You have a certain track record. You follow ethics. You have rules. Everybody knows that you are a properly run organization. So if you're a media house who wants to be digital first, you want to make sure that your content reaches people, where they consume media. We social media is the new watering hole, the new place that people gather to talk. You can't keep saying that I want to put my thing on radio and TV alone when everybody is consuming on social media or on digital. So by all means, every traditional media house will have a wing that will be doing social media or digital media to make sure that people consume the content there. But you must know that you have a certain reputation as an institution, and you must know that in moving from traditional to digital, you don't forget the principles that have made you a solid traditional media house.
All right, Abu, and we are enjoying your conversation. We wish you stay with us till 6 p.m.
Oh, I beg. I think that I
please, we to be
like to listen. I think I would like to listen to the rest of your conversation.
We hear you. Please, it was a mistake. I didn't mean it. All right. Thank you so much for joining us today on the show. Okay, that
thank you.
was Abdulai Awudu. He's president of GIBA, Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association. Yeah, and I've enjoyed his conversation so far. 0551111997, our WhatsApp number. We're talking about how to regulate, quote and unquote. Regulate. We are putting it in quotation. How to structure the activities of bloggers. That is what we're looking at this afternoon here on Showbiz A to Z. Let's take a quick breather. When we come back, we talk more about the structure. Uncle Francis has been in this industry from new media to traditional media to print. He knows it all right? And so when we come back from this break, Uncle Francis will be telling us what we should do to get the structure.
He's a blogger.
Morning time, the pot is ready. Mama cook it nice and steady. Call your people, call your crew. Oba spaghetti made for you. Come chop. Everybody chop. Oba on my table, we know.
This advert is FDA approved.
Feel the excitement. Enjoy the conversation. Come with us on this exciting journey of growth and personal development. We challenge you to break the status quo, step out and do big things. Catch host Reverend Albert Okran as he vibes with CEOs, experts, and changemakers. Right here on Springboard, your virtual university. Now showing every Sunday at 9 p.m. on Joy News TV, 7 p.m. on Joy 99.7 FM, and streaming online on Facebook and YouTube. You can't miss it. Partners, MTN Ghana, Enterprise Group, and the Ghana Grows Program. A collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and Springboard Roadshow Foundation. Media partners, Joy FM, Joy News TV, and Graphic. Springboard. Your personal value will shoot up.
Here's where we turn around.
There's going to come a time that the church will rise as the highest of all the mountains, and saviors will be raised in the church to deal with the world system. And let it be now. We need to have a national focus. We don't have to lose this ambition, or else we work against the Great Commission.
They are equipped in righteousness, the agenda to possess the nations. Welcome to an equipping center of the word and prayer on Pentecost Hour.
Pentecost Hour comes to you on Joy 99.7 FM every Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Hits FM on Mondays at 5:30 a.m. and Joy Prime TV on Saturdays at 7 a.m.
A new name, is joining the Joy News Habitat Fair family.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Joker.
Joe 99.7, Showbiz A to Z. We've been having an amazing conversation here. How to get a structure for bloggers, or quotes and unquote, how to regulate the activities. The quote is very necessary. In the meantime, if you want to be refreshed, High Five Choco Malt is the best bet for you. The first malt drink with a chocolate flavor to make you break loose. High Five Choco Malt refreshes you the most when you need it. Paired with your hot meat pie or buffalo. It is simply irresistible. High Five Choco Malt. Enjoy the malt, feel the chocolate. High Five Choco Malt, the new normal. And it is best served chilled. Available in all supermarkets and shops. Call them on 0262 351 251. 0262 351 251. As I speak to you now, Guinness Pound of Flesh, the very first play, the first showing, is staging at the National Theatre now. And so if you missed this particular one, you can get ready for 8 p.m. It is on tomorrow as well, 4 p.m., 8 p.m. And then next week, Saturday and Sunday, 4 p.m., 8 p.m. It is Guinness Pound of Flesh, the first original African adaptation of William Shakespeare's legendary classic, The Merchant of Venice, put together by Image Bureau, April Communications in the National Theatre. And it's supported by Knee Plant Car Rentals, Graphic Communications Group, Joy FM, Hit FM, Joy Prime, and brought to you by Ghana Tourism Authority. Now, some information here for corporate Ghana. This is your invitation to the biggest sporting showdown of the year. Last year was fantastic. I enjoyed every bit of it. And we're back this year, happening on 29th August at the University of Ghana Stadium. Yeah, companies from across the country battle for bragging rights at the Joy Sports Invitational 2026. Whether you are scoring goals on the football pitch, stepping up for the CEO penalty shootout, showing your power in arm wrestling, racing the lime and spoon, or sack race, pulling your team to victory in the tug of peas, or taking part in the female penalty shootout, one thing is guaranteed: you'll have an unforgettable day. So get ready for that. Before the competition begins, you'll get your body moving with exciting aerobic sessions from 6 a.m. So rally your colleagues, wear your company colors, and come ready to compete, laugh, and network and create memories. Register now. Call Slevin on 053 100 3813. The Joy Sports Invitational is brought to you by Toyota, Ayuda Latex Foam, Minerals Commission. Still talking about bloggers and how to regulate the activities. How to put the activities in structure them well for them to do the work well. Jibriel Suliah is a blogger and secretary of the New Media Association. We have Francis Doku, CEO, Media Africa, Maestro Africa Group. I always get, hey, Masuyadio. And then we have Adwoa Paintsil, lawyer and managing associate, Robert Smith Law Group. And then, and early on you heard Abdulai Awudu, president of GIBA, on Zoom. Uncle Francis, let's talk about the structure. We've spoken about these bloggers and the activities for how many years now? I remember when I wasn't at multimedia. I remember, Philip, you invited me for a conversation on this same issue. The studio was there, the other side. I remember Jesse was around, Chief Moomin, Kwame Rasta, Baba Sadiq, and we spoke about it. You even called somebody from Media Commission. How many years on? About 5 years later, we are here. Uncle Francis Doku, can you put the structure for us together for us right now? Let's get it structured now and see.
I think it's important to note that things take time to properly become what we expect of them to be. I mean, Abu mentioned, and rightly so, that how many years now have some newspapers been run? Over 100 years that some newspapers be run, but some of those newspapers still make blunders. I was mentioning News of the World to Uncle Ken earlier about one of the biggest newspapers in the UK at the time, and how they eventually died because of how they did their things. And so, I mean, news takes a long time to become what we expect of it to become. Television took a long time to be what it was. Radio has been still growing. There's still people on radio who libel and sedition, and all that, and some of them are punished for what they do in terms of people taking civil cases to court and getting remedies. So we are still in the phase of growing a very, very young aspect of the media landscape, which is blogging. It is not to say, or it's not to give an excuse that people can do whatever they want to do without any repercussions, or if you like, anything that will go against them. That's why I think that I do not subscribe to where people say that we need to use the law to punish people who commit such things. The law, in a sense, the criminal law, right? But there's always civil law. There's always, if somebody libels you or libels anybody, they can go to court and find a way to get remedies if they think that they've been libeled by any blogger or any even newspaper or television or radio or any traditional media. Similarly, we can also look at that. I totally disagree with using the force of state, to execute things that have happened, regardless of who the subject is. Even if it's the president, is also a civil citizen who can go to court and say that this person has said this about me. I want some remedies, and all that. I don't think there should be any time that we use the force of state, in the sense that we use criminal law to punish
But if
people.
they make allegations they can prove, we will come to that. I'll come to lawyer
what
for
allegation?
clarification.
Is it a civil? Have they committed a crime?
I'll come to her.
I don't think there's crime. There's
Okay.
crime in speech. I honestly don't think there's crime in speech. I think that we have tried to use some high-handedness over the years to find ways to criminalize what people have said. But I think we need to do more in terms of civil, going the civil way. The lawyer mentioned about how difficult it is because of the way the wheels of the law grinds, justice grinds slowly. But in a democracy, that's also the way to go. Recently, I read, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, I read a news story about how the director of the FBI had gone to court to sue somebody who had described him in a certain way. That's a director of the FBI, one of the biggest security agencies in the world. He didn't use the criminal way. He went civil, and he lost. The court said that the person was right in describing him the way they described him, in a manner that. But I see a lot of this happening here. I mean, we were here when not too long ago, Bongo Ideas was picked up, because of some of the things that he said on air and all that. I feel that.
Was he picked up?
Well, I mean, he said later that he was, Yeah.
Did we get information?
There was no official.
from
but he said later that he was.
Okay, so he says that he was picked up.
Yeah, he said, and we didn't see him for some time, so we assume that.
So we assume that happened.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that let's use more the civil way than using underhand means and then also the law. I mean, even recently, the people who are speaking on TikTok and others who have been picked up, because they accuse high people in high office. I think we should use the civil way more. That's one. Two is that there's a need to properly find ways to educate, the young people, especially because most people who do blogging are young people.
Yes.
Some of them having had training in journalism or the law, as it were. I mean, media law, and all that. Because if you go through journalism school, definitely you learn some media laws,
sure.
the things to do, libel and all that. And that kind of helps you to be able to set you up. So we need to find ways. The traditional media organizations or associations like the GJA, like even the NMC and all that, needs to find way, reach out to the likes of Ghana Bloggers Association, because there's a Ghana Bloggers Association and then there's the New Media Association.
Yes.
There's Adwoa. I'm going to come to I don't know if you come to Jibriel and ask what's the difference between Attractives Ghana Bloggers Association and New Media.
What's the difference, Jibriel?
So the difference is that Attractive is talking about bloggers. We are not only bloggers, we are also freelance journalists, online journalists like Kwame Dadzie, content creators like
influencers
and influencers as well.
So yours is bigger.
Yeah, so you find the likes of Woody Maya and co, part of us, Koji Sheldon, part of us. Eugene Asafo.
So you guys are bigger than Attractive.
I don't know how big Attractive.
Let him rage bait you.
I don't know how big Attractive. I don't know how big Attractive. No, I don't know how big Ghana Bloggers Association is. Okay. But what I am saying is, we have added. We are not only on bloggers, we have added content creators, influencers.
Kwame, what's your problem?
Creators.
So I want to understand them better.
We have 2 bar associations in Ghana.
Kwame wants
the birth of new media was. Let me say it. The birth of new media was as a result of the slow nature of Ghana Bloggers Association.
Oh, so you were part of the Bloggers Association?
Yes, I would say it.
Oh.
We originally were part of Ghana Bloggers Association.
Oh.
But
before you were part of Ghana Bloggers Association, you were part of Adwoa.
You were. Even your president was Adwoa.
Yes.
A founding member.
Founding member of Adwoa, yes.
When I ousted him, he got angry and formed an association.
Yes, and so in that case, we realized that there was no vibrance. What we wanted to work wasn't working, and so we had to and expanded ourselves. And that is how come today we can tell you that we have over 300 members across the country. We have
you are doing well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And all thanks to the likes of Amir Deborah, who is the vice president of the association. Okay. Eugene Osafon Kansa is the president. Zion Felix.
They are all Atwoa members.
Yes, all Atwoa members. Zion Felix is the treasurer. GH Kweku. I am the secretary. We have and we
David Mowley.
David Mowley is the assistant.
He's in Ghana.
Yes, Yemi Baba is the communication officer.
Beautiful.
And we've merged it with the young guys.
Akesimoy.
No,
Sansa.
Somebody retire you. Akese has retired. We don't see him anymore. But yes, this is a group, and we all seem to have the background of journalism and we are using it to work. And that's why I say, if you come to the executive of new media, we've also added the new guys. Dagati girl, she works under Zion Felix. Eviana. There are few of them that
is Tina News part of.
Tina is part of us.
Okay.
And speaking about civil and criminal cases, we have also gotten some of our cases in that respect, and some of our members were Rambo picked. I will still use the word Rambo picked in their homes late at night when they were sleeping with their families, and that was as a result of Penyibia, who wasn't somebody who probably had power and wasn't happy with a certain video that went on air that had to do with him.
When did this happen?
Oh, early this year.
Early this year?
Yes, early this year.
Which of the
members? It had to do with a member of ours who posted. Can you? The interesting thing is, most of us still didn't even see the content.
Who was that?
D-Class. You would know D-Class. Francis would know D.
Maybe I've met him.
So he's a blogger. He's part of the New Media Association. He made a statement, or he made a video out, and all we know was that it was linked to a former NCA or Media Commission boss. And
I think I remember the story.
It was even on my journal.
Yes. I remember the story.
And it warranted the whole security BNI to go and pick a member of the New Media Association at dawn, 3 a.m. And for over 12 hours, we didn't even know his whereabouts. It had to take some of us or the executives of the New Media Association to put a search on him, and we finally got to know that he was being kept at the police station at the ministries, and we had to go through court procedures and all blah blah blah. At the end of the day, it just had to do with someone wasn't happy. And what is the right thing to do if you are not happy with someone's publication? You are not supposed to let the security personnel to go and pick him up.
Go to court.
Serve him. Go to court. Let them serve him. We understand these things, and so it shouldn't be that way. Irrespective, we are not saying that we are saints, but one way or the other, these are some of the things that we are facing as well. And we, as New Media Association, as I said, we are united. We jumped from Ghana Bloggers Association and others to come together and form ourselves, and we expanded, and we are doing well. And as I said, one of our primary focus is to give our members the best of education within the field they find themselves in.
All right.
And that is why we are working with private institutions, governments, and even NGOs. As we speak, on Monday, some of our members will be going through the International Migration, UN International Migration Association. There's a program like that. They are going to teach our members on how to report on migration-related activities. And I mean, this is for the betterment of the association.
So Kwame, if I'll finish.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So Kwame, I mean, the point I'm making is that there are other remedies. There are other means by which, if a blogger does something that you're not happy, you should go through. I don't think that using the criminal means is always the best way to go. That's one. Two is that there's a need to improve the knowledge of bloggers and generally everybody who works in the media. And I think that organizations like the NMC, like the GJA, I think it's time they extended, a hand to these young people and find ways to improve them, because I believe that it is better for us to improve, because blogging has come to stay with us.
Oh, yes.
So it's better we improve them than finding ways to kill, if you like, a mosquito with a sledgehammer, as it were. I think that there's a need to improve them. There's a need to find ways to handle things when they happen, than always using that big stick to knock people out.
All right, guys, send us your comments now, 05511119997. How best do you think we can structure the blogging space? Send us your comments now. Let me get to lawyer Adwoa Paintsil. Now, in the media space, in the blogosphere, we have things that we consider as scandals, libel, and all that. You are a lawyer. Educate us. What is a libel? What is scandalous?
Well, so thankfully now Ghana does not criminalize libel. It used to
because
be
of
that.
But
in 2001 we decriminalized libel. The catch or the gag, however, is that there are still some sections that of our criminal acts that somewhat play the same role if applied right, in quotes. Judiciously, yes. So you have section 208, there's another section that talks about publishing false information. That is still absolutely a crime. False information intended to cause panic and fear. So for instance, during the coronavirus pandemic, if you published information you knew was false, intended to create public fear, you could be picked up on that section and prosecuted by the state, even though technically criminal libel is off the charts. And I guess it's the state's way of balancing things, because criminal libel has to do more with free speech, what you can say, what you cannot say. But like I said, all rights are subject to public interest, to the rights of others. So where it can jeopardize the safety of the public, in this case, during the pandemic, maybe either make the spread of the disease more or cause unnecessary fear, then the state would want to step in So, yes, libel is decriminalized, but please walk with caution and walk with sense.
Okay, let me ask you a hypothetical situation. Assuming I do a story and I say that Uncle Ken has stolen a goat.
I don't like goats.
No.
Okay, what do you like? Chicken.
Uncle Ken, please give us what you like, and let me help you. And let me help you steal it.
Everybody likes money.
With my storytelling.
Everybody likes money.
Okay, so assuming I do a story and say Uncle Ken has stolen something, and then he says he's taking me on, what are the charges he can press against me?
He can't press charges against you because defamation and slander, defamation, which is pretty much slander and libel, are decriminalized. So he cannot go to the police to press charges against you. What he can do is sue you in court for defamation. Now the thing is, defamation has, I think, about a 2-year limit after, or slander, more or less. Slander in particular has a 2-year limit. So if you do not sue within the 2 years that it happens under the Limitation Act, sorry. Ashe. I mean, there are ways to revive it, but if you come and see me for consultation, I will show you how to revive it.
But you used, you said that Uncle Ken can sue you in court.
Yes.
But he cannot press charges.
Yes.
Because it's not criminal.
Because it's not criminal. He cannot go to the
so
police.
that's the difference.
Yes, he cannot go to the police and say, this person has insulted me. So put them in jail or prosecute them. But he can sue. And during that, he has to prove that their statement is malicious. And like I said, malicious intent is not just ill will in the common sense. It's also reckless disregard. It's also knowingly publishing something you know is false. So it is not just about umpenasem, more or less. Then he has to prove that the statement is defamatory. Now the issue about defamatory is, will it rid or would it lower his reputation or self-esteem? So there are some people, if you say this person is a thief, it might be defamatory, but nobody is looking at the person and saying, okay, your reputation has fallen down in my eyes. No, everybody's like, okay, we are moving on, because sometimes the claims are so outlandish you don't believe them. The point of defamation is that people believe their claims and have acted on it. So then now you see people say, I never knew he could do that. Oh my goodness, what a bad person. Now you are seeing in real time, and social media makes it easy now to see in real time people's reputation being dragged through the mud. In the popular terms, they'll cancel him. Right, it won't even take 5 minutes. They'll finish cancelling him, and he's done. So you would have to prove
he's losing ambassadorial deals.
Yes, so for that he has right. So if those ambassadorial deals come in money, he can go under special damages and say, okay, now this is how much I lost because of this. Please reimburse me in addition to general damages. That's the fun part.
If I did a story and I insulted Uncle Francis that his beard like a goat.
You don't also like goat?
I mean, I like goat, pa. I only like pork more than goat.
Today I'm mentioning goat, pa.
They always go to Osu Nightmare.
Can he sue me?
So insults are not suable, more or less.
Wow.
So if I insult you, technically speaking, because it's a right of free speech. Everybody understands that it's an insult. It did not used to be so, because under customary law, what used to happen was, if you insulted somebody, and depending on the weight of the insults, you could be brought before the chiefs, and be sanctioned. And there's a case called Adwoa Paintsil, where she insulted another woman, and it was brought. And in those days, yes, you could. But the court said, under the common law, you can't say that an insult is defamatory. I'm saying it to your face. The other thing about defamation is I have to publish it, so tell a third party. But if I'm insulting you to your face, I mean, it's just that too bad. Sorry.
In public,
in public, yes, but everybody understands it to be an insult. So the issue right now is how to prove that people see that and it has lowered
your reputation,
or it has ridiculed you
It
in
has
public.
affected me emotionally.
Oh,
My BP has gone up.
Prove that.
Kolebu Department of Psychiatry, aka the Melody, they got you. They will give you nice therapy. But yes, so you have that.
But you see what the Lord does to us. The Lord dribbles us all the way. All the time.
You see, they are trying
it's very unfair.
They are trying to manage expectations.
I think the trick is to find a good lawyer who can bring all that together.
Exactly.
Isn't it, anyway?
Yes,
so the law is
that
there.
plays a part.
The law is there
Yeah.
to make a good lawyer rich.
Oh well.
I will not argue with that. So you have all these elements, because defamation is not. You have to prove all the elements of defamation. That is defamatory, that was published to a third party without.
Defamation is very, very strong to prove.
Yes, it's a very, very hard
to
thing
prove.
Because let's say you do prove that it's defamatory, you do prove that it was published to a third party, but then there's no malice.
Yeah.
How
it
are
falls
you going?
down,
Yes.
yeah.
No, but there can't be malice. Like Kwame accused me of stealing a goat.
And
I don't like goats. One. I have not stolen one. And I am able to tell the court that, look, I don't like goats. So I will no way go against a goat. And Kwame has accused me publicly. It's a clear case.
Well, he did it to your face.
Yes, but so for that, and then the third one, which is most essential, is that everybody has to understand that it's in reference to the person. So even drawings, even caricatures can be defamatory depending on how they are drawn.
But it is not you. I was just drawing. I didn't mention your name.
I see the drawing and I know that it is you.
If a reasonable man can
We'll
say
see
that
that
it's
it's
you.
you.
Well, that's fall under circumstantial evidence.
No, this one will be direct evidence. You've drawn. The issue is people should understand the reference is made to end off or about you.
Oh, so we ask about 5 people in the room.
Yes.
Oh,
I see.
So for instance, if somebody drew a picture of you stealing a goat, or a picture that looks like you stealing a goat, and says man steals a goat, doesn't mention anybody's name, but everybody looks at that picture and knows that's where it's a Kwame. Where Kwame? And I'm good, but you can't sue the person for defamation.
interesting. Let's talk about other hypothetical situations. So I wrote a story about somebody stealing something, and then I retract, I apologize. Can the case die there and then?
It depends on what the person feels. Honestly, the fact that you have apologized and retracted does not undo the damage. It does not undo the fact that people his reputation has already been dragged through the mud. Sometimes people, like in Ghana, we live in a very fachenyame state. So sometimes people just want an apology and they are done. So I remember for the case of Ochame Kwame and Jedo Ambule, it died because Ambule issued an apology
after a long time
and retraction.
Retraction, yes, but that's what he wanted. He wasn't concerned about the money. He wasn't concerned about anything. What he wanted was an apology and a retraction of the statement. Somebody will see that, like for instance, lawyer is Ananankoma. He went and said, I don't just want a retraction, pay me some money. The courts did grant him damages.
I think even General Mosquito got something like that as well. Yeah.
So it depends on who is you, the individual. You can decide that, okay, if I want an apology, I'll move on. But if you still want to proceed, you can't proceed because the damage has already been done. And the issue about the apology and retraction is it never even catches the same mileage or traction as the original action.
Yeah.
The people who saw it may not see it.
May not see the apology.
They may not see it. You will publish one, not in social media. You can publish a story today, right now. By the time, within 5 minutes, people in Czech Republic have read the story. What happens? You retract it 2 hours later.
And they don't.
And then let's say the people in Russia, they've taken away their internet. What happens?
So in the case of Ochame Kwame that you mentioned.
Yes.
Okay. If you were you the lawyer? You spoke as if you were.
Maybe
well,
she was close to the case.
In the courts, we have the ability to
monitor
what goes on.
Court proceedings.
Amicus what?
Courier.
That's
all that also happens.
Yes, you are allowed to see court proceedings.
So I'm asking, in that instance, when you have hired a lawyer to go to court, and then the person apologizes, and your client accepts, you as the lawyer, will you still charge the client the amount that you initially charged to pursue the case?
Absolutely. The issue is is to get you what you want. It does not matter
so
the value of what you want. Yes. At all points in time, every good lawyer or every lawyer worth their salt has one thing in mind: their client's interests. So if I can get you what you want, it does not matter that I think that you could have gotten more. It's what you want. It is not what I want. So will I charge the same? Yes, absolutely. In this hot Accra,
let me read a comment here. It says, this matter, what is classified as a public? We should take into consideration the personalities involved. If the conversation is just between ordinary people, there is no case. But when their conversations are of public interest, that's where the bloggers and blogging have a content. The privacy is relative here to me, though. It says the item becomes newsworthy when the personality involved is of public interest. This is from Kojoba, former MP.
Okay.
So when you say public interest, public interest, these things are not expressly defined even in the Constitution. They are very broad terms because of the changing scape or the landscape of the law and the landscape of developments generally. What was in public interest 20 years ago may not be in public interest now and in the future. So the courts generally like to keep it, but there are some guidelines. So you look at the situation, you look at the circumstances. Even MPs have the right to privacy. You cannot follow an MP and say that I am going to publish your personal data. I am going to publish your private conversations. Before they became MPs, they are Ghanaian citizens and they are entitled to the right to privacy. The issue about it happening in public is, would a reasonable person seeing you seeing you talk with another person assume that this is a conversation that the whole world is supposed to hear? That's the objective test. So would a reasonable person think that? So if I'm having a conversation with Uncle Frank, for instance, it doesn't matter how loud I am in the conversation. If another person passing by can see that this is maybe just a heated exchange between the two of us and it's not meant for him to come or for her to come and now interfere, then for all intents and purposes, if they publicize that conversation, even though it happened in public, it is still against my rights to privacy. It is still an intrusion into my private life, because what it means in reality is that now you are scrutinizing my private actions. The fact that it's happening outside does not take away from the fact that it's private. If that were the case, it would also mean that when people are on phone calls and they are talking and they are arguing, you would have the right to record them. But even as it stands, even in a regular phone conversation, you can't record somebody you are talking to, much less a conversation you overhear. So we know this to say that, public is relative. In the circumstances, would anybody reasonably assume or think that this is a conversation that is meant for the whole world to hear? And even if it is, now the question is, even if it was meant for the whole world to hear, was this information meant to be fleeting, or was it meant to be put in a permanent fixed medium, like taking videos?
All right.
Yes, so those considerations would come into play.
Okay, so a brother of ours is listening. Robert Clark works with Charterhouse. He's head of event and communications, public event and communications. He's listening to us and has an input. Let's talk to him now. Good evening, Robert. Hello. Good evening, Robert.
Yeah, good evening, Kwame. Can you hear me?
Yeah. We can hear you. How are you doing?
I'm great.
Yes,
conversation out there.
Okay, thank you so much. And we understand you have some submission.
Yes. So I have let's just say I'll break it down into 4 points. The first one has to do with the term or the meaning of blogging. I think the first time I encountered the word, it meant something a bit different from what I came to learn the industry referred to as blogging. So when I encountered it, I knew and I've known that it has to do with somebody who is publishing, their own information in terms of opinion. And it's about somebody writing and creating regular content, just to be able to share on maybe like websites or other social media platforms. And then eventually, I realized that the conversation was a bit different when it comes to our industry. I'm only bringing that to the light because this is Joy FM. And so we get into the academic aspect of some titles or definitions, so to speak. And so I also realized that there are other words, vlogging, which has a V at the beginning, which focuses more on the combination of video and blogging. But then again, I discovered another word, which is micro-blogging. And the micro-blogging actually fits well with what we probably do within our space. The definition says a person who publishes very short, frequent updates online rather than long-form articles or videos. But then again, we have eventually had to create our own operational definition for what blogging is. So this is just to put it out there. And the second one has to do with the fact that there are different types of bloggers. So in my line of work, I've had to deal with food bloggers, fashion bloggers, name them, different types. But for some reason, when we put everybody together, we say, oh, the bloggers, then it feels like we are tarnishing the reputation of some people who are in some niche, who may not necessarily be causing the kind of trouble that we are facing. So I don't know how we can, for the purposes of conversation, establish some distinction so we protect those who are doing their job and doing it well without having any problem, as compared to those who may be giving us a wahala. Quote unquote.
Robert, the food bloggers are food content creators.
But it's all part of the space.
I guess you don't mind me. Continue.
Okay, good. So now my third point has to do with So my third point has to do with the laws that govern what they do. I'm looking at what they do, and honestly, there are three key things that stand out. You may probably add a few more. The first one has to do with that they function as a publishing house. So just like media houses publish information, news, etc., these platforms also function as a publishing house. Secondly, they also function as news houses. Okay, so they also put out news or content that is relevant to us with respect to news. And then the third one has to do with advertising. For these three clear areas, the act or what they are performing, there are laws within our system that speaks to these things. And so for me, I clearly see that if bloggers, like we call them, are able to align with what these specific laws are, it would make their work easier because they will know exactly what to do and what not to do. So what do I mean? We have the Cyber Security Act 2020 that speaks to cyber harassment, cyber stalking, identity theft, false digital impersonation, unlawful computer activity, etc. is there. We also have the Criminal Offences Act. So for as long as they don't involve in anything that has to do with extortion, blackmail, publication of prohibited material or threats, then that law, that law actually governs that particular space. We also have the defamation law, which I think you've already spoken about it in-house. Then you also have the Data Protection Act, which has been spoken about. That is another area which deals with private data, personal records, etc., and all of this information that goes there. We even have the Copyright Act, which also governs what you are able to use in terms of photographs, music, videos, TV clips, etc. So if at the end of the day, and this leads me to my fourth point, if we are expecting to build a community of bloggers who are professional and ethical, then what I would recommend as a framework to operate in the space, which maybe the association can jump to, is for them to make available all of these laws. They should just pull it from the various platforms and put it together as this is the framework. That says that for somebody to be a professional and ethical blogger,
all right,
these are the laws you should be able to operate with. And if they are able to operate with that, in addition to that, they should have a few other things. And these few things, let me just quickly mention it. So the first one has to do with the code of ethics, which I've just mentioned, if they are able to go in that particular line. Then the other one has to do with the correction policy.
All right.
They can add that to it. You know, we were just talking about the need for people to be able to correct, and sometimes you can't repair and image damage. But we should have that as one of their things that they work with. And then they should also have sponsored content rules. Because, you know, advertising is probably not being spoken about heavily. But I know that there are implications for any house that is responsible for broadcasting information that has advertising content.
Okay,
so
Robert.
These things too, we need to be able to jump into it. And then we need to have some digital complaint systems. Sometimes it's difficult to identify these people, who they are, and how to be able to get them to address the issues. So if we are able to do these things, I believe by the end of the day, we should be able to contribute to the space.
Thank you very much, Robert Clark, there for that amazing submission. We've been talking about bloggers and how we can regulate and structure their activities. Jibriel,
yeah, Kwame,
Secretary to New Media Association,
yes,
an offshoot of Ghana Bloggers Association and Art and Tourism Writers Association.
I swear to God.
Yes. Before we go, Jibriel, finally, what do you have to tell your members or your colleague bloggers out there, and then the general public?
First, let me go with the general public.
Yes.
Identify who a blogger is. Just as you are able to identify that if I go on Joy News, I will get authentic source of information I want. You should be able to identify the kind of blogger you are also getting your information from. I will always say that, and I've always stood by it. I don't go to places I am not invited. That is my principle.
Even when you need the news, you need the content?
Exactly. So that is the difference.
Okay.
So when I put that out, someone says, even when you need the news, I don't want to thrive on the news that is trendy. I want to give the news that when you read or when you see, you know this is authentic. So I have put principles for myself. I don't talk about people's death. I don't talk about funerals. I don't go for funeral, funerals when burial, those ones, just like yesterday what we saw.
You don't do that?
Yes, I can tell you. I've not spoken about the unfortunate 8 helicopter accident.
Why you hate funerals?
It's just my principle.
Funeral tourism.
Feel that I am, if I put the news out there, I feel that if I put that news out there, I am capitalized. I'm not the families of yes, I'm capitalizing on that.
Okay, I get it.
I want to give the families of the disease that space to breathe. Let me use that, and that is my principle.
That's extreme interpretation of
But others, how they are doing others don't believe in my. I do almost everything. I do almost everything.
You do politics, you do entertainment.
I do politics. I do entertainment. I do fashion. I would, if you call me for a fashion show, I would come. If you call me for a political, as you, if you're on my socials, my stance in terms of that, I would go. But if you don't call me, I won't go. Yes, the color of the shirt.
You are wearing green.
So, I
want to follow you.
I
monitor you.
Yes. So
if it goes for
no. As for that one, it is a principle. Funerals, I won't talk about it. And so none of my followers can come and tell me that, as soon as you are grandpa, this. No, you can't. You won't. I won't put it out there because I feel I am capitalizing. As I said, capitalizing on it.
If I invite you,
and I pay you,
and when I come, you don't determine the content I should pick.
Hey.
I would.
He who pays the piper.
So, Kwame, in the sense of monetization,
yes,
I mostly will get affected, but I don't care about that.
Okay.
Because when you are being invited for a funeral to come and take coverage, everybody is expecting you to do one way or the other, and obviously some are being paid for those contents, right, to go out there. I won't come, so it means me cash. But do I care about it? No, because I don't want to.
So Jibril, you're saying it doesn't matter whose funeral it is.
I won't talk about it. I haven't spoken about the late President Rawlings' funeral or his death, his wife. I'm just mentioning key people. I won't talk about it.
Lumba.
Lumba.
No.
Okay.
No. No.
Kantanka.
No. None.
That was a Kantankra's funeral.
Yeah. So I am very selective of. So that is my editorial policy.
Okay. That's good. House style.
Yes.
Wow.
So as I said, the audience identify who you can get the best out of. Myself, I admire some of my boys or my members.
Yeah.
If I know that it is political, something that has to do with parliamentary procedures, I would check out for 1957.
Okay.
I don't shy going. I would go and check.
He's doing well.
Yes. If I want to see anything that has to do with club, people dancing, the big bundes, I'll go. I know where I'll go and get it from.
Where will you go?
That is my preference.
Uncle Ken wants to know.
I will tell you after.
Uncle Ken is asking.
I will show you the way.
Uncle Ken wants to do a research paper.
I will show you the way. I will show you after. I'll show you after. I'll show you after. Don't worry. But as I said, that is my way. So I would urge audience to also, and also my colleagues in the industry.
Yeah,
we are coming together. Whether you are joining the Ghana Bloggers Association as a blogger, if you're a content creator, if you're an influencer, and you believe that you have something to put out there and put it in a very well structured way, come and join the New Media Association, so that we'll be able to work together and make it and make our profession
so that you don't make mistakes.
Yes, so that you don't make mistakes, so that you will learn and be able to expand.
Amazing.
Because Kwame, we've made money.
Yeah,
that is not true. You've interviewed 1957.
Yeah.
Today he's driving a Civic.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen him.
A Civic. Honda Civic. Yes. I used to see him walk when he was at GIG, but today he's driving a Civic. Zion Felix.
Yes.
Yes.
He has a jet.
Unfortunately, some of us are still working. So that is.
It's okay.
It's okay for now. Thank you, Jibril, Secretary of New Media Association. Okay, let me come to you. I'm doing 2 minutes each. 2 minutes, then we go. He's leaving. Mama, you speak last, so you reserve yours for last. Let me come to Uncle Ken and then Uncle Francis, then I come to you. Uncle Ken, yes.
Kwame.
Yes, boss.
Very, very interesting discussion today. I wish it wouldn't end. It's so interesting. I like what I've heard about Jibril's organization from no other person than Abu.
Yes.
Who is head of Giba.
Yes.
And if Abu, as head of Giba, has complemented what they're trying to do, I'm in no way going to sit here and doubt that they are making an effort. But I think that I don't know how they're going to be able to incorporate training like journalists go through and standards with their members. I wish they had a method where they could get their members through those ideals for them to become people of repute that we can search, listen, read on, and believe what they put out. I just hope that they are able to do that, because that will enhance their operations a lot. And objectivity You go out and capture somebody in a particular situation, and that's it. There are no follow-ups as to when questions are posed and that kind of thing. I find that disturbing. And that is where the traditional media has an advantage. Because the traditional media, with their training and editorial policies and things, will follow up and give you a balanced view of a particular story. It's the balance that they are not able to, provide that worries me about them. So if they can check that too, they are very, 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 very good addition to dissemination of news.
Yeah.
We cannot run away from that. Yeah. So I wish them well. Yeah.
Thank you, Uncle Ken. Uncle Francis.
Yeah, I think that conversation here has been very helpful in the sense that, for me, people see blogging as nuisance, in the sense of them, bringing out things that are hurtful to people and, putting out things that haven't been sanctioned, things that have been approved, picking on conversations that are not supposed to go out there, and, they put it out there. But I think it's important that we look at it from the point of something that is developing. I'm sure, newspaper is older. I'm sure when television news started, people would have had reservations about this new medium where people are put on TV, and all that, and radio and all that. So it's normal for us to have this kind of issues about how this new medium has become. But I think it is not right, in my view, to throw it away just because of that, or find all legal means to knock them out. As Jibril said, they are trying. Those who are part of the association are trying to first educate their members, kind of orient them on some of the things that they need to understand in terms of media, proper ways of doing media, libel, understanding libel, and all that. But I think it's also important to note that Jibril mentioned that they have about 300 members, right?
Yes, across the country.
I believe, a lot more people who are blogging than those who are members of the association. Because as Philip's article said,
yes, every mobile phone
is a media house.
Is a media house now,
and there are so many young people who have this media house. Some of their blogging is just picking a particular social media and being there and doing stuff. It's not like how we understand blogging to be, like having a website and putting news stories there. For them, where they are is where they blog. Some are just Twitter bloggers, some are Instagram bloggers, some are TikTok. That house. Proper house. And some are just Facebook and all that. So we will not have all of these people within the association to be able to benefit from the things that association does. But I think, in my view, that we should be able to contain, all manner of people who are trying. Eventually, I believe there will be some sanitation, and properly structured ways of handling this. But let me add again that I think the recognized bodies, NMC, GJA, GIBA, and all that, needs to find ways to get into the space a bit and try to, bring these people along, these young people along, so that it helps for them to properly understand how things work. Because I believe it's the benefit of all. Because like we mentioned from the beginning, these people have given us a certain challenge that the traditional news media is trying to, incorporate. But we need to bring them up right.
Yep. Thank you, Francis Doku. Let me come to lawyer Adwoa Paintsil. What advice do you have for bloggers and the media in general?
Okay, so for bloggers, Mr. Clown made an important point. Earlier in my submissions, I stated that even though we do not have one body of law, we have pockets of law that can touch on everything. So when it comes to bloggers, yes, people can sue you, but there are absolutely certain things that when you do will land you in jail. You will do jail, and it's not funny. So unauthorized recordings of people. You are publishing their personal data, which is a crime under the Data Protection Act. You will do jail for that. Granted, it's 2 years, but
Still jail.
It's still jail. You can pay a fine.
That's a common crime. It's jail.
Yes, you can do. You can. Some judges will have and say pay a fine, but your fine goes up to 3,000 cedis. Or you can do jail, or if you are stubborn proud, you will do both. If you decide that, oh, I am going to be forwarding information. So sometimes it's not that you have taken it, because a lot of these bloggers, especially those on X and Instagram, sometimes the original video is not from them.
Yes.
They did not take the original video. They are taking it from another source. But if you publish it, you will also do the jail. Because the issue now is you are interfering with somebody's right to privacy first and foremost. And secondly, you are dealing with somebody's personal data in a way that is unauthorized by the Data Commission. So to do all this, like Jibriel says, go for the trainings. Go to Data Commission. I know they host some form of trainings. I don't know how often, but they do some form of trainings for people who process personal data, so you know how to do these things correctly. To the general public, please do not be afraid. The wheels of justice grind slowly, but they grind.
Anyways.
They grind. That is the most important thing. They grind. If anybody is publishing your information, you have, or your personal data, you have every right to take them on if they do not do so in ways that are authorized or exempted. So some of the exemptions, personal, public interests, prevention of crime, those things, yes. But if, oh, I just want to make money, clickbait, I'm sorry, it does not hold. You can absolutely take them on and say, I do not like this. And when it comes to publishing false information or defaming words, nothing stops you from going to court. Nothing absolutely. You can go to court and say, look, this thing that this person said is untrue. Go to court. Yes, the courts will encourage mediation. You can decide that, you know what, an apology and retraction is all I need. But beyond the apology and retraction, you can also get that mullah. Please get it and come and pay me some. Because, you know, baby girl has to eat. But that is my general advice.
Thank you.
For now.
All right. It's been a very, very structured conversation.
Joker.
Uncle Francis, thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Lawyer Adwoa Paintsil. To you, Abdulai Awudu, President of Giba. And then Uncle Ken. Joker. Not forgetting Jibriel Suliah, Secretary of the New Media Association. The show was produced by Philip Nye, supported by Anita Tay, Ida Lemaire, Olivier Fagnon, DJ Wubete. And the show was sponsored by MTN, Joker. High Five Choco Malt. My name is Kwame Dadzie. We are back next week for Showbiz Roundtable, 9th edition. We are tracking all the things that the NDC said they would do for tourism, culture, and creative art. Until then, stay out of trouble.